my interior design tutorial for my Cherry Blossum House in Minecraft. But before we get into the tutorial, please make sure to like and subscribe and comment what you think of this build. Now, on the second floor, we're going to start the same way we did the first floor by filling in the ceiling and starting to fill in, like, trying to mark out the walls. Basically, how we're going to fix this window situation. And it is indeed a window situation. It's a situation, it's bad. And how we're going to fix it is we're just going to, the windows are so awkward here. I'm so sorry. No, what we're going to do to fix it is we're just going to build walls around it. You won't see the windows if there's walls blocking them in. Yes, yes? Yeah, so we're gonna make this into a little like hallway, and how we're doing that is right side upstairs on the bottom, upside down stairs on the top, and then trapdoors in the middle. Then we're just blocking that in to make that a little hallway, and we're just putting a little frog light in there. You can put a little torch, you can put any light source in there, and we're just gonna block that up. We're just gonna block that up. We don't need that room. It doesn't exist. Yes, it does not exist, guys. It does not exist. So now I'm marking out the wall for this other room that connects to the turret room. So we're just marking out where the wall is gonna be. And this wall's also a little bit awkward because there's like a staircase, so it also may feel a little bit weird. Then I'm putting the walls for the second room, and we're fixing this cherry wall here. Now I'm just putting the staircase, and it's very similar to the one we did at the first floor, where it's like 2 steps, then like a little landing, 4 blocks, and then just the staircase continues. So it's like kind of that same pattern, so it kind of matches. Then I'm leaving these full blocks underneath the stairs, except for that second to the top one. I am placing a stair there because we're gonna build a bookshelf there later, and it just looks better. Now I'm just building up the wall. Now we're building up this doorway. Then I'm putting just some frog lights and trapdoors just to give it some light. You don't have to add that if you don't like how it looks. I don't care. Do whatever you want, man. And I'm putting some bookshelves in here because this is going to be like a little book nook area. So then I'm adding a little loft because these ceilings are pretty tall. Making sure in that little nook under the loft, we're putting upside down stairs because we're going to put chests there. And if you have a full block, the chests won't open. You can use upside down stairs or a slab. Both work. And I'm just filling out the ceiling here. We actually end up blocking this up later because we don't end up using it for the attic just because it's kind of an awkward shape. So if any of y'all want to build this and find something cool to do with that room, you can find something cool and put it up there. Hide your treasures and stuff. Once I have that, I'm just putting some lights at the bottom to make like a little the moss rug with the frog lights under it. And we'll actually, like, for real, furnish this room later. We'll just do what we did for the base level where we built all the furniture, built all the walls, and then I go around and detail it later. So now we're moving on to this second room. In my notes, these are labeled the white room and the blue room because in this room I put a white bed and it has like a birch accent wall, and it has, of course, this white accent wall, the quartz. In the other room, I put a blue bed, so that's why it's called the blue room. So I will probably be referring to it by these names from now on, the white room and the blue room. So basically, how I'm doing this room is I'm just filling this wall really fast, and then I'm putting the loft in. And in this room, it's gonna be made out of quartz slabs, just because I thought it was a little bit cramped. I wanted the slabs. I wanted to use slabs. And then I'm putting upside down stairs 1 block before we get to the wall, like the edge of the loft. And then I'm putting blocks there because we're gonna make that a bookshelf. Gonna add a little bit of lights, frog lights in the ceiling, and we're making sure to fill in those corners and around the window just so it looks a little bit more natural. Once we have that, I am moving on to filling in the rest of the ceiling, I think. So I'm fixing these stairs, making sure those line up, and filling in that ceiling. Okay, so as I'm finishing up the ceiling on this part, because this window is like, I don't want the ceiling to be in line with the window. I think that's kind of weird. Once we get like 3 blocks away from the window, we're stopping and we're putting stairs so that it kind of looks a little bit more natural, just so it's not right next to the window, because I think that's weird. Then once we have that done, we're going to do some of the details in the white room first. So I'm starting by putting a little quartz table. In the background, we're actually going to be putting birch blocks. Now I'm just going to build the bed with some dark oak in the corners, then stairs on the sides. Then I'm just putting just planks behind. And I'm putting upside down stairs on the top, putting a bed, and as I said before, this is the white room, so we're putting a white bed, an ender chest next to it. Yippee! And then I'm putting 2 little shelves with some dark oak trapdoors, and we will clutter those later, so you can just leave those for now. And we're putting a little railing so that we don't fall off our loft. Now I'm just filling in the window with some glass, and we're adding a ladder, because how else would you get onto the loft in the first place? Perfect. And then this room is like, it's kind of done for now. I will be coming back and adding a table and a cabinet, but I forgot when I was doing that room. So now we're gonna move on to the blue room and forget about those things we forgot about. We're starting with putting an e-chest right in the corner. Then we're gonna build the bed, and the bed is gonna be built very similarly, but instead of using dark oak planks like stairs and stuff, we're using spruce planks, but we're still using dark oak wood. So I'm placing some spruce stairs and a bookshelf, and then on top of that bookshelf, spruce trapdoor. Then in that like little back section, we're leaving that like 1 block left open, and we're gonna put a shelf on like the top of the wall. And I'm just adding another little shelf here with just upside down stair and then a trapdoor on top of it. Just a little cool little shelf. Then I'm putting the chests in, and I'm putting the barrels in the loft just to like have more extra storage. It's like just a storage room. Just a nice little storage room. Okay, so we're starting this little library. Okay, so I want to separate this cobbled deep slate from the cherry wood a little bit more, and I really like the texture of barrels, but like the bottom side. So I'm starting by breaking these cobbled deep slate blocks, then I'm placing a row of spruce planks right above where I want the barrels to be. Then I'm just placing the barrels, making sure that they're facing downwards, and then just covering that up with cherry planks. Then when I come back up to the top, I'm just breaking the spruce, and there we go. Bookcases all along that wall that has the window on it, except for where the window is, obviously. And then we're leaving the 2 bottom rows intact, because obviously for an enchanting table, you need the 2 bottom rows. But we're mixing in some chiseled bookshelves at the top just to give it a bit of variety. Then we're adding upside down stairs to make it more of an arch, and spruce trap doors just to give it some more like details. And because we're adding the spruce trap doors on the side, you won't be able to see the edges of the chiseled bookshelves, which will make them blend in a lot easier. And then we're just I just kind of went like random. You can copy exactly what I did if you want, but I made sure to have the 2 bottom rows intact, just like you normally would for an enchanting table, and then I just placed a bunch of books everywhere. And then where the enchanting table wasn't, I mixed in a few chiseled bookshelves, but not where the enchanting table was going to be. So that enchanting table, if you do it exactly the way I did, actually does give you level 30 enchants. Okay, so then next to that, we're adding another bookshelf. So it's going to be a dark oak pillar. Then we're going 2 blocks and placing another dark oak pillar. We are ignoring that mess up. We didn't do that. Then putting trap doors around the bottom just to give it more of like a sturdy base, at least looking. And then I'm putting barrels, the second from the top and the second from the bottom, just to like give it some texture. I don't know, man, I just think it looks good. I think that like trapdoors next to barrels into wood combo, like bark block combo, is a good one. And then I'm just placing chiseled bookshelves, like those 6 blocks, and placing chiseled bookshelves in there. And then I'm placing 2 more chiseled bookshelves, or 4 more chiseled bookshelves on top. And I'm putting like another little spruce arch. And then that is all basically done. I'm just adding another shelf like we did for the kitchen, making sure to place all of these trapdoors on the top half of the block as opposed to the bottom half, so that we can place things on top of it. So in front of this birch wood, we're just putting a cabinet, because all of our problems we can just cover up with furniture. So I'm doing spruce this time. It's the same thing we did with the dark oak one, except for I'm building it with spruce trapdoors and spruce doors. Then on top of this hallway that leads to the back door, I'm just putting bookshelves, just like a bunch of bookshelves. Then I'm just filling in the wall. And this ceiling, because you're not going to see the top, I'm actually just going to put like frog lights just to make sure this room is extra bright. Because it's so small, making sure that it has a lot of light will make it look brighter and will make it look bigger. Fun fact about space. Then we're just closing up this small end because you're not going to see that. Okay, so now we have these bookshelves here. I'm putting another shelf in front of the bookshelves, hanging that with chains. So now we have this, like, not only is it 2 blocks deep, like giving us some dimension there, now we have a 3rd layer that we've added, which is giving us even more dimension, making this look very depth-y. Yes? Yes. So I'm just adding some spruce, upside down spruce stairs to make this also have an arch, so it kind of matches the other vibes we got going on. And I'm placing bookshelves in there, just make it look nice. Actually, we're making this shelf bigger, I guess. Oh, I also have another shelf to put on this wall by the stairs, and I do end up putting another shelf on top of that, like our little hallway. I do end up putting another shelf there, but that's totally optional. You don't have to do that. Quickly, before we do any of the clutter and stuff, we're adding the furniture we forgot for the white room. We're putting our cabinet, and we're putting a table, and the cabinet is literally just the same way we built every other cabinet so far, and the table is just 2 upside down quartz stairs next to each other. Makes table. So now we're doing all the cluttering. We're putting our little office plants around with our azalea bushes and leaves and all that stuff. Then we're adding just some candles. We're not putting any candles in the white room because I actually ended up using, instead of just the normal candles like I used for everywhere else, I ended up putting specifically white candles in the white room. I did not put blue candles in the blue room though, because I think the colored candles are kind of ugly. Don't come at me. They're a little ugly. So I'm just putting a bunch of books in the bookcases. I'm putting pots with plants with all the different things. The candles, I'm lighting all the candles, making sure everything's done. One thing I did do when I did when I tried to mix in the chiseled bookshelves with the normal bookshelves is because the normal bookshelves are like red, blue, green, brown, I tried to use mostly the red, blue, green, and brown books. The chiseled bookshelves only have 6 colors, and they have like blue, green, brown, pink, and purple. So I tried not to use the purple and pink books as much. So like I was leaving gaps where there were the pink and purple books purposefully because I think it looks a little bit better, it blends a little bit better, but it honestly doesn't look bad to me, whatever. Then once I have all of that stuff done with the rugs and everything, I start putting those hanging plants around with pots and azalea bushes. Because the azalea bushes are actually like a full block tall, they do connect with the top of the chains. That's why I'm using azalea bushes and not like saplings or any other flower, just because azalea bushes are one of the only ones that actually like connects with the chain. Then once you have that, we're just putting leaves everywhere. Putting leaves just randomly everywhere. And then once you have all of that, you're done. Then we just move up to the attic. Okay, onto the attic. We're going to start the same way we started every other build, just building up the walls. We're just blocking off that entire turret room because we don't need it. Just placing a light in there and then we're done. I think it's awkward shape and I don't want to deal with it, so I'm blocking it up, covering up all my problems. Then I'm building up this wall and I'm placing another stair here and then putting some frog lights and trapdoors. Then I'm just filling in this wall because we don't need this, and lining it up with this quartz wall. Now I'm putting a wall here because we're dividing this into a little like under loft area and then a closet. So I'm breaking out this closet, just putting frog lights in there and making sure to make the roof with stairs, upside down stairs, or you could use slabs just because we're going to put chests in there and we want the chests to be able to open. Then I'm just filling that in and finishing off this loft area here. Now this room over here, we're going to make into an office. So I'm starting by just filling in these walls. Then I'm putting the doorway. Now next to this closet, we're going to do a second little loft area. And so we're just putting that in and then just filling in that corner, putting a frog light with moss and trapdoors on the bottom. Now I'm putting frog lights in the ceiling just to make sure that this attic is super light. We'll be able to see. Now I'm just filling in this wall, and just like I did in the white room, we're going to be putting a birch back wall. Just put that in. And then in this office area, I'm putting some frog lights in the ceiling, and I'm rounding off the corners of the ceiling with stairs. And I'm rounding off the corners of the doorway with stairs. Then I'm just in this office area, I'm putting crimson wood and a little desk, kind of similar how we did to the breakfast nook downstairs. Then I'm putting 2 slabs and an upside down stair to make a little like corner desk. Then I'm just putting 2 tables using upside down stairs and a slab. Then I'm building a chair. I'm just putting a stair with 2 signs on the sides. We've all built chairs like this in Minecraft. Classic Minecraft chair. Okay, now on this birch wall, I'm putting a big, grand bookcase, very similar to the one we made downstairs, but like much bigger. So you're going to be placing 2 dark oak pillars. I think they're 5 tall, and they're going to be 3 blocks apart. So we're doing the same thing with the trapdoors at the bottom, and then the barrel, trapdoors at the top, and then the barrel. Now we're going to start by putting a little table in between the like 2 sides of the bookcase, I guess. Then we're breaking into the birch and back into the cherry wood to put bookshelves, and we're putting trapdoors and upside down stairs to kind of round it off. And we're putting like another bit of books on that, and then we're just putting stairs and a spruce trapdoor to round that off too. Now under this like smaller loft, we're putting a little workstation. I'm just throwing a blast furnace, anvil, and then a barrel, but I changed it to a crafting table later, and a grindstone, just a little workstation. Then on the top of this little loft, I'm putting a barrel. I also put a gray bed over there, just like, I don't know, extra bed in the attic. Then in this bigger loft, I'm just putting a bunch of barrels, just some extra storage. We're so close to the end, we're just gonna build one last thing before we clutter. Just another little bookcase kind of set into this wall with barrels, dark oak bark block, and then just some chiseled bookshelves. Super easy. Then I'm just doing the same thing, cluttering it up, putting pots, putting white tulips, shelves with some chains, hanging plants with some chains, azalea bushes, like just everywhere, and candles, and I'm filling in all the bookshelves, and I just literally do it random. And then once I have all that, I'm just putting leaves all over the ceiling, and then once you have all of that done, it is officially done! You have finished building the Scootterboo Cherry Blossum House. I hope you guys enjoy this build as much as I do. I was not intending on building the inside at all, but I actually really enjoyed it, if I'm being honest. It was very, very fun, and I'm very glad y'all asked for it. Just doing a final little walkthrough, letting you see the whole house together. I hope you guys like it, because it took a long time. If you want to see the designs, I actually drew up blueprints, and that's what I used really as my guide throughout this design process. You can see those on my Twitter. The link will be in the description. And thank you guys so much for watching. Please like, subscribe, and let me know what else you want to see in the comments.